So, ladies and gentlemen, today is a very, very special day here on KRSchannel. I have literally, I would consider him a reincarnation of Rishi Parashara or Varamira. And he's here with us today. I'm sorry if I want to pronounce your name right. How do you say your name again?
Abhigya.
Abhigya. We have Abhigya, this genius astrological prodigy in front of us. So welcome to KRSchannel.
Jai Shri Krishna.
You are an amazing person. When I saw your videos, I'm like, he's 11 years old and my goodness, he is elder to everybody that I know. See, you're young. You're only 10 or 11. But because of the knowledge that you have in Jyotisha, you are elder to most people, especially me. So, no, you know. So tell us, how did you get into astrology and Jyotish this early?
Okay, so actually it started like this. I was writing a Sanskrit exam. So when I went for Sanskrit training in Mysore here in Karnataka, so when I went there, the thing that happened was I saw a board saying there are Jyotish classes here. So I thought of joining them because I had some interest towards Jyotish at that time. Because suddenly that gave me something that how do they predict something? Before I knew that there was something called astrology, and most books are telling me that astrology is a fake thing, it's a lie and all of that. Because there are many books, school books which are published now, which say astrology is a lie, and they keep teasing astrologers in every single school book. So I felt like if astrology is like this at that time, I thought like if astrology is like this, then why is it given so much importance in modern day? Like how are things becoming accurate on astrology? So whatever people predict normally is inaccurate. Like people who sit, there are many people nowadays who do astrology but make really big mistakes and all of that, and then because of that people think astrology is a fake lie. So what I thought about that, that if astrology is a fake lie, then how are people able to predict correctly in other cases? So I thought of studying it and then getting to know about it. So there was this college which was teaching astrology for many years. So I joined that college and I'm in the third year now. So this October 19th or something, I'm going to complete the exam of the third year, and then I can start consultation. So
wow, what school is this?
It's called Divya Jyoti College of Astrology in Mysore. It has a branch in Bangalore also. So
okay. So which branch are you studying? Because you know there's many branches like Parashara, Jaimani, Nadi, Bhrigu. Which one are you learning?
I actually do this one, just a horoscope, and then also prashna I've started recently. It's very interesting for me. So I like the prashna topic. Like without a person's jataka, you do nakshatra jataka. You're able to know about the person's house. You're able to know about how the person will be, and who will he meet while coming to the astrologer. Many different kinds of things that horoscope can even not predict. So all of these things are there in prashna. So that's why I got some interest in prashna shastra also. And recently I bought a book on Varshaphala. I'm not yet started it yet, but the thing that I've focused on is prashna and jataka.
Okay. So tell us something about the prashna astrology. Like, what are some of the things that you notice that people should know when they do prashna astrology?
Okay, so prashna is very important as in modern day people don't get exact times for birth. So when a person is born, people don't get exact times. So some people consider the medical things more important, and others consider the time more important. So there are only a few people who consider the time of birth more important, who believe in Jyotisha and who are very sincere on knowing the time. So there are some people like that, but majority of people do not note the time. They note it in some whole round, just like a round off.
Yeah.
So prashna is better is what I feel, because in jataka what happens is in modern day in Kali Yuga people don't worry about the time at all. They just worry about the medical requirements of the child, and then when the child is born they don't know how to note the time, like when the child is born or when the umbilical cord is cut or what is the birth of the child. So which is the time. So a lot of confusion regarding this. So I feel prashna shastra is a little better. Both are actually good because yes, Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra is Jataka, and that's also very important. But in modern day, Jataka timings are little they are not matching well. So that's why prashna is very simple, because you have a time clock or something which says seconds, minutes, and hours, and everything perfectly. Then you have the clock with you, and then you ready the Gochara Phala of today. You just ready the Gochara Jataka. That means the transitional positions of the planets, like where the sun is, where the moon is, and all of that. And then you also do Pada Pramana for each nakshatra. That means dividing the nakshatra as padas for the day. So the pramana of the nakshatra divided by 3 degrees 20 minutes, like that, or the time assigned for each nakshatra, pada. So doing that pada pramana, and then we keep which pada it is. It should not fall in the last navamsa of Karkataka, last navamsa of Scorpio and Dhanus, and last navamsa of Meena. So like this, we have to make pada pramana, and then we have to posit all the planets in their spots with the exact degrees, minutes, nakshatras, signs, and everything. And then we have to ready the Gochara Jataka. Then when the person is coming, there are many different kinds of interesting omens that we are supposed to observe. So in Prashna Jataka, it's like this, that we are not supposed to predict just like that. The person is supposed to ask us, and then we are supposed to predict. So that is very important. So we must predict only after the person asks a question regarding the prediction. I think there is something related to that in Jataka also, but in Prashna it's very important, because Prashna Jataka is because of your karmas. So what you do in your previous birth is being reflected on the Prashna Jataka. Unless the question is asked about longevity, death, and or of family members, or of wealth, family, married life, only if these questions are asked, then only the result will be done or will happen. So the questions have to be asked for result to be predicted. If questions are not asked, results will not be predicted for the astrologer or for the person. So through Prashna Jataka, you can also see the astrologer's future. So at that time, when the person has arrived, you're supposed to note the seconds time, the full time, like hours, minutes, and seconds. So you're supposed to note it down, and then when the person comes, he asks, for example, like, what gender of child will I get? For example, if we ask like that, then we are supposed to see, are males being heard, like names of males, or some important thing about some male being talked
like
about.
Like an omen.
Yeah, so that means the child is a male in the womb of the woman. So in case females are heard about in the discussion of the astrologer and the questioner, then the child is a female. So it's based on omens also. So if a donkey brays or a jackal howls, there are many different kinds of omens like this. And birds, horrible birds like vultures and all of that, suddenly screeching, crows cawing loudly. Normally crows caw sometimes, so crows cawing loudly is very dangerous. So all of these things are supposed to be observed and noted down. Then the dress of the person who has come, where he's touching. So if he touches his head, that means we can put the ascendant as Aries. If he touches his neck or face, we can put it as Taurus. So that's called Arudha Lagna. Yeah. So then also we make a 24-inch square on the floor or the ground. We make a 24-inch square, and then we divide it into 12 boxes, just like the Jataka. We divide it into 12 boxes, the South Indian Jataka. And then what we do is we ask and then we splatter rice grains on all the full part, and then we worship it with white flowers like jasmine, and we chant a few Panchakshari mantras. And then what we do is we ask the questioner to chant Panchakshari mantras told by his guru, and then put the gold piece. He has to bring a gold piece with him and have to put it in one of the 12 boxes. So that becomes the ascendant. That's called Swarna Rudhana.
Okay.
So like this, there are many different kinds of things to posit the ascendant. One is where he's touching at the beginning of the discussion, where he's touching. If he touches his head, like at the top, or without unconsciously he's touching his head, or if he's touching his face, or it goes down like that. So it goes to each one of the rashis. There's one more way to know the ascendant or Arudha Lagna. We ask, say a number between 1 to 12. So that becomes the Lagna. Or say a number between 1 to 27 nakshatras.
Oh.
See, 1 to 108. The 108 padas. 108 into 3 degrees 20 minutes is 360 degrees. So like that, we make the person say a few numbers. 1 to 12, 1 to 27, 1 to 108. So we put the Lagna at the exact place, like exact pada, exact place, like that.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Now,
so that
in prashna, can you also find out what color a person is wearing if they're on the phone? Like
Okay,
what colors
if
they
they're
might be wearing,
yes,
what t-shirt, you know?
yes, there is one thing for that. That is the first house, the lagna. If any planet occupies the lagna, which color that planet says? Like for example, sun resembles brown color, moon resembles white, very white, like milkish white, and Mars resembles bloodish red. Like that, there are many colors for each one of the planets. We see Mercury is green, and then we see Jupiter is yellow, Venus is also white, and Saturn is black or blue or dark blue or any foreign or like very special modern color.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it means like different, like a special modern design. And if we see Rahu, we have mixed colors. No, yeah, we have a tone shirt or something which is horrible shirt, not a good color. And if we see Ketu, then that means that it's multicolor.
Multicolor.
So by that we can find out, and then we can also find out the health of the person by first house or the ascendant.
Okay.
Planet is positive. Otherwise, if there's no planet positive in the lagna, then even the lord of that lagna can also be seen for that. For example, if Venus is the lord, white. If moon is the lord, then it's going to be white. If it's Saturn as the lord, it's going to be black. So all of these things can also be seen. There's a book called Prashna Marga. I think that's extremely important.
This one, right?
Yes, even I have it.
I'm reading this too. I'm actually like around this much. I'm at page like 110. So
Yeah, it's D.V. Raman's book. Yeah, even I have the same thing.
it is very, very deep.
Yeah, just a second.
Yeah. He's a genius. I'm so glad I'm doing this interview with him today.
Yes, this is the one.
Okay.
First part. Yeah, the first part and the second part.
Oh, there's two parts to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me.
There are two parts to it.
Oh yeah, this is part one. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me. Okay.
This is part one and this part two. So part two has about children and all of that. And part two also has about spirits, ghosts and all of that. And even it has marriage compatibility issues according to birth horoscope, and about children, and Nashta Jataka. Nashta Jataka, which means that if a person does not have his Jataka but wants to know how his Jataka is, then we can also make Jataka on account of that. The second thing it has.
Okay. And how do you do birth time rectification? Let's say my birth time is off by 30 minutes or 1 hour. What are some of the quick tricks that you may use to make sure that this is the time of birth?
The tricks like that are the ascendant in the prashna time also sometimes relates to the lagna or the birth of the child.
Okay.
Ascendant of the prashna time. So sometimes it's like that too. And there is also a thing in Nashta Jataka which talks about the lagna also. So how the lagna is to be determined. For example, the janma, nakshatra, janma nakshatra. Otherwise, we also say nama nakshatra. Nama nakshatra, which means that Ashwini has a few letters like chi, cho, lu, all of these things are Ashwinis like that. Like if a person is named, his name starts from a particular letter, then that one is called a nama nakshatra. So like that we can keep making the nakshatra. Okay. The birth time, like that. Birth time rectification, actually, it's a very confusing thing. Yeah. Many people have dealt on that. I'm not yet studied about birth time rectification, but the previous Prashna Marga has given a very, very difficult method to do that, like measure the sun's shadow and then into a Vakya. So Vakya means it's an ancient formula. So like that. I've not yet studied some quick tricks on that, but okay. I know how, there is something about nakshatras and all of that.
Now, can you also see, one of the most difficult things that I find in astrology is to see how many siblings a person has. If they have male siblings, female siblings, okay. 3 siblings, 4 siblings. How?
Yeah, do you have Brihat Parashar of Hora Shastra?
Yeah. Yeah, I have volume, I have both of them, first and second edition.
Okay, so if you have the first and second edition, if you have the first edition, you can open the 5th chapter on the last page. So that shows you how many children a person has. So if a person has from Jupiter to Saturn, if the length is like if it is 5 houses from each other, if Jupiter and Saturn are 5 houses from each other, then the father will have only one son. So it can also have one daughter or something, but in ancient times it was only like one son. So if somebody asks in the Prashna Jataka, who will be my brother or sister, or like will I have a brother or a sister next, then the third house should be seen for that. The third house and the third house lord, and where he is posited. So how will the life be of that sibling, and will the sibling live long, and all of these things also can be seen, so that the person who's asking can enjoy the sibling for a lot of time. Otherwise, if the sibling has a low life, then it's better not to have a sibling, or it's like that.
Okay.
So, for example, if the third lord has a malefic planet in it, then the brother may do harm to the person who's asking, or the person who's asking may be of harm to the child who's supposed to be born or who is already born. So that's why it's very important to consider the third house position and the third house lord for knowing how many siblings. So the gender of the sibling also can be considered. Like if Venus is the lord, then it's supposed to be a female. If Venus and Mars are both posited, then there is no child being born. Like that. And how many children means if Jupiter and Saturn are in length five signs, or yeah, so 5 signs each. Yeah, if 5 signs apart from each other. That means if Jupiter is in Aries, then Saturn should be in Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. So Saturn should be in Leo and Jupiter should be in Aries. That means person will have only one son. There are more things about this. In the 5th chapter, we see that there is also an explanation. So in the Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra, you can open the fifth house indications. So in that, there is a lot of thing on this.
Okay.
Okay, so there we are. So how to find a number of children? There will be 10 sons if the 4th and 6th lord, the 4th and 6th are occupied by malefics. So the 4th house and the 6th house are occupied by malefics. And there's also one more thing here. While the 5th lord is in deep exaltation. For example, if the lagna is Libra, and the lord of the 5th house from Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius. So Aquarius lord would be Saturn. So if Saturn is in Libra, then there'll be 10 sons. And Jupiter is in the ascendant. There'll be 10 sons. Like this, there's a lot of explanation. Like 9 sons and 7 sons. If 7 sons are born, then 3 sons will be dead or may pass away quick. So all of these are also given here. And Rahu is with the 2nd lord. That's also a good position for children. So all of these explanations have been given for how many siblings a person would have. Or if a person asks how many siblings they would have, then their parents' Jataka could be seen for that. The parents' Jataka, if it's seen, then it's easy to determine how many siblings they have. Because parents' children are equal to the questioner's siblings.
Right. Okay. Now, one of the most fascinating things for me is the Varga charts, the divisional charts.
Yeah, divisional
What
charts.
do you find about navamsa? What is navamsa chart?
So navamsa is a very sukshma thing. So it goes into the person's life. Like, who is he? The spirit, like the most inner aspects of a person's life. Like how he is, what's the inner soul of his? Like how is he in truth? So, and people nowadays appear to be very great. Some people appear to be very good. Some people appear to be very bad outside when we see them on media, television, or when we see them face to face also we feel, oh, he's a very bad man. Oh, he's a very good man. But when you see the Navamsa, you'll really get to know whether he's bad or good. And who is controlling him in his mind, really. So, if a person has in his 4th house, Jupiter, that means mother has a very strong hold on that person. Mentally. And if 9th house has Jupiter, then the same thing. Father has a very strong hold. Same goes with son too. So that means father has a very strong hold on the behavior or the way the person behaves. So that is about Navamsa tells you about that. And Navamsa also tells you about spouse or wife. Like that. Or husband. So navamsa is very important about marital life too. It also tells the inner aspects and guna lakshana. That means the person's behavior, the way he behaves, and what is his inner intuition, and what is his real desire in earth. What does he want to do? So that is also very important to see in this. And one more thing you can see from navamsa is a few little wealth or assets of the person, the happiness, how much happy is he with his life. So that also can be seen minute degree with navamsa. But navamsa is extremely important. It takes a second place. And many yogas are also formed on navamsa, like alpayu yogas, madhya yogas, dirghayu yogas, and vargottama. And we also see pushkara navamsa. All of these things are also brought out with the same thing. Like navamsa only, it gives all of this. So vargottama means going to the same house in navamsa, just like how it is in jataka or in rashi.
Okay.
So like that is called vargottama. So many yogas are formed with this, like dirghayu yoga, amitayu yoga.
So if navamsa tells us about our soul, then what is the birth chart?
So birth chart tells us about its general. So like what a person really wants to know materially. Like nowadays in Kali Yuga, people want to know materially. Even in other yugas also, everybody wants to know materially how much welfare they would have, like how many sons would I have, how much wealth would I have, general things all in one. If a person is people can't move around with all the 16 jatakas searching for one in every single thing. So that's why Rashi Jataka is very easy, because it gives you 100% effect of every single thing of the person. And after that navamsa comes. So Rashi also gives you about the soul. Like it gives everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till the 12th house. You can know about everything about the person's life. Whereas navamsa splits each one of the Rashis into 9 divisions, 3 degrees 20 minutes. So like this, it elaborates more. So navamsa, as you go to the end, as you go to shashtyamsha, it makes it totally, like, it's so complicated to know the effects of a person. Like there are 60 divisions. Like
there's 60 ditthis in the shashtyamsha that you have to know.
Yeah, that's what. So that's why all of these things in Rashi Jataka also we have about the soul. We have about the personal way of thing. But in navamsa we are able to see the inner aspect of the person. In Rashi, we are able to see the outer well-being, like the outer life of a person. Like when you see an actor or an actress on TV, then you feel they're really happy. Oh, they have lots of money. Oh, they are coming on TV. Oh, like this many things we feel. But inner life will be a little different of theirs. We have many problems. They also have many problems, just like us sometimes. Sometimes they may even have more problems than us.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Rashi shows you the material thing, whatever they have. But navamsa will tell you whether really they are enjoying the material thing or are they not still happy with it.
I see. So if, let's say, somebody has a debilitated sun in the birth chart, but exalted sun in the navamsa, how would you understand that?
That becomes Nitya Bhanga Raja Yoga sometimes. Okay. So that also can happen only if the lord of this in Jataka also is exalted. The lord of the sign where the debilitated planet is, the lord of that sign, for example, let's take Shani when Jupiter is in Capricorn. Saturn sitting in Libra when Jupiter is in Capricorn. So the same thing happens in navamsa. Suddenly Jupiter goes to Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So if this combination happens, it becomes Nitya Bhanga Raja Yoga. That means the person rises from a very low family. Like he's almost a beggar on the street. His father may be a beggar on the street, but he becomes the prime minister or some very high position, president or prime minister of the country.
Okay.
So, or rises to a very high political thing, or becomes very rich suddenly, or is able to control all the ministers, every single person of that city or village. That is called Nitya Bhanga Raja Yogas. So these yogas are really rare, but it's important to consider them. So that is only the one.
In navamsa, you also, do you study aspects in navamsa, like conjunction and aspects at all?
Yes, there are some things like that, like conjunction and aspect also could be seen in that. Like for example, yogas in navamsa, there are many yogas in navamsa also to be considered. So for them, aspects and all are little considered. We see.
Okay. Now, also, as you know, we have Rashi aspects. Like in first
Yes.
chapter of Brihat Parashara Shastra, the Rishi Parashara first talks about Rashi aspects before he even goes into planetary. So, should Rashi aspects be used in Jaimani only, or also in normal understanding of the chart? How would you Rashi aspects versus planet aspects?
Rashi aspects versus planet aspects. So Rashi aspects are not studied about Rashi aspects in the Jaimini system of astrology. Rashi aspects, planetary aspects on Rashis are important, but I don't really know about Rashi aspects.
You don't know? Okay. Okay, so since we're on Navamsa, you know how it's about marriage and spouse.
Yes.
How do people ask, how should I understand about my spouse? Is it the seventh house, seventh lord? Is it Venus? Is it the seventh house of the Navamsa? Which one should be used to see who the spouse is?
The whole Navamsa chart is itself symbolizing the spouse, like whole Navamsa chart about the spouse entirely. Like first house resembles how the spouse will be, second house resembles the wealth of the wife, third house the siblings, fourth house the asti, that means the properties of the side of the person who's married to this person, and the fifth house resembles like will the person married will be able to give children. Sixth house resembles the we would say the enemies of the spouse. Seventh house resembles the person, like himself. Seventh house in Navamsa resembles the first house in Rashi.
Oh, okay.
So seventh house means spouse of the spouse. That means that is the person, native. Yeah.
That's why we can see skin tone in the seventh house of the Navamsa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So eighth house resembles the longevity of the person who is married. Ninth house resembles the parents of the father in respect of the person who is married. 10th means the profession of the person who's going to be married or is already married. 11th house means the elder brothers, if they are elder siblings, or how much gain would this marriage bring to the native. All of these things also could be seen from Navamsa. And 12th house resembles the losses or expenditure which are being put on by the wife.
By the spouse, okay.
How much expenditure would they cause to this person? Would they have extravagant expenditure on this person? Bring him into debts or something. So all of these things could be seen from the 12th house of the Navamsa.
But if you want to see, let's say, the height of the spouse or the skin tone of the spouse, how would you?
First house.
First house on Navamsa.
Yeah. The same thing if you want to see in Rashi, you can see the 7th house. 7th house lords, all of these things. There's a huge explanation in Dasha effects of the 7th house described. In that chapter, we'll have lots of information about that.
Okay.
Like, about the spouse, like entire.
Okay. Now, you were talking about the nakshatra padhas.
Yeah,
we know nakshatra. We who study astrology, we know great deal of nakshatra. What are padhas? Why are there 4 padhas? What each padha means? Is there a meaning to each padha itself?
So each padha is 3 degrees 20 minutes. So each padha sometimes has a meaning because when they go to inner deeper charts like Shashtyamsha and all, they really also have a meaning.
Okay.
Shashtyamsha, each part will be equal to 3/4 nakshatra or something like that. So in Shashtyamsha, it becomes important at that time. So we also consider this padhas important as when we see the sandhis, vriksha sandhis. That we know about vriksha sandhis, isn't it? It comes from Meena to Mesha, Karkataka to Simha, and Vrishchika to Dhanus. So in the middle, the last padhas of each one of the nakshatras, like Revati Ashwini and Ashlesha Makha, and we also have the nakshatra belonging to Indra and the nakshatra belonging to Nirirati. So those 2 nakshatras, Mula and Jyeshtha. So these 4 things. It's not that anybody born in Ashwini or Revati has a problem. It's not that anybody born in Makha, Ashlesha and Makha have a problem. It's not that anybody born in Mula and Jyeshtha have a problem. It is that the padhas are seen in this, like the last few padhas. like the last two padas of each one of the ones and the first two padas. For example, the last padas of Revati and the first padas of Ashwini. Like this of each one of the things, then only there's a problem. So padas are very important in Vriksha Sandhis. Like, and each one of the nakshatras, the last pada is considered to be inauspicious. Little inauspicious. So it reduces the effect. So it is in the second or third, it is the youth of the effect of the nakshatra. So that's when the nakshatra gives a full surge. And sometimes it is that each one of the nakshatra padas, like if the person, in marriage compatibility also we have this thing. Like if one is born in first pada and the second, if the male is born in the first pada and the bride is born in the second pada, like this, it's good. Like that, there are many things. So padas have importance in marriage compatibility also.
Okay. Like compatible, like a moon compatibility, or a sun nakshatra, or which nakshatra?
So we see nakshatras in this, like pada pramana. We see that also, padas.
Okay.
Like the padas of the husband and the padas of the wife have to be observed. So padas have a lot of importance. Even in prashna. Like in prashna, we have that there's something called Trisputa in prashna. Trisputa, we have it. I think it's in the first edition only, the first form, this book. So Trisputa is also there in this. That means the lagna, moon, and all of this added will become Trisputa. If that Trisputa falls in Vriksha Sandhi, or the last two padas, what I said, then it becomes death for the person. Like this prashna. And also, we ask the person to say 100, number in 108. So when we say a number in 108, also there is padas there. 108 padas is there in the Jataka. 27 into 4 equals 108. So like that we have 108 padas. So when we ask the person to say a number within 108, they say 102, they say 1, they say 2. If they say 2, then we say Ashwini Pada 2. If they say 3, we say Ashwini Pada 3.
Okay.
Like that 4, 5, 6, it goes on like that. So in prashna also it's very important. So padas are generally very important.
I see. Now, since we're talking about marriage still, how do you look at the timing of marriage? Like the easiest way.
Marriage, yes. So again, there's an explanation in the 7th chapter saying that if Venus is in exaltation, marriage will be early. But in Brihat Parashara, it's given 2 early ages, like 9 or 10, like that. So that's why in modern day, we are supposed to consider by adding a few years to it. Like adding 5 years or 6 years to the amount given in the Brihat Parashara Hora. Because at that time, marriage was considered okay for small ages. But people used to not live together. So that was the thing before. But now, since there are many problems happening, people are supposed to be married only after 20 or after 8 in India. So time of marriage is given here. If the 7th lord is in a benefics house, or while Venus is exalted, then the marriage will be early. Like that, if Sun is in 7th while the dispositor is conjunct with Venus, there will be marriage 7th or 11th year of age. So that is too early according to the ancients. So, but still, that was considered benefic in the ancient time. But nowadays, we're supposed to add a few years to it. Like that, the time of marriage is given each year, like 24, 25, 26, 27. Some even go to 40, 50. In modern day, we have many people having really big problems.
In 30s,
They don't get married sometimes, and sometimes they get married when they are 40, 50. So there are many explanations here too. But the final one given about Brihat Parashara is Bhagyajma Mitrage. The native will marry at 30 or 27 if Venus is in the ascendant while the 7th lord is in the 7th itself. So that's a late marriage for the ancients.
Okay.
Like this, there is timing of marriage too. From Shloka 22 to from Shloka 22 to 34, we have explanation of the time of marriage. The timing of marriage can also be known by the we see timing of marriage by the 7th house, how the 7th lord is posited. If the 7th lord is Shani, then marriage will be very late. If the 7th lord is Jupiter, it will be a little late. If 7th lord is Moon, it's going to be really fast. Like from the time when the question is asked, it's going to be really, really fast. And Prashna, we have it to hours and all of that. In Prashna, it's so inside that we are able to know how, from where the spouse will come also. And all of that, from which direction or from which part of the world. All of these things are also there in Prashna. Even in Jataka, we have that. The 7th house, if it is Aries, then it will be north. From the north, like that.
Okay.
It's not your country or your village or the city, like that.
I see. And what dasha system do you use? How many dashas do you use in terms of making predictions?
So in terms of making predictions, I know about Vimshottari Dasha. That's common actually.
Yeah.
So actually, so it's common to have Vimshottari Dasha. But the problem with other dashas is that in Kali Yuga we cannot apply them. Yogini Dasha is also can be applied. Yogini Dasha is also there.
Yeah.
But I've started reading about Yogini Dasha very recently, so I don't know much about that. Vimshottari, it's normal, like Sun Dasha, Moon Dasha, 6 years, starting from Kritikadi.
Yeah.
So Kritikadi means from Kritika. Kritika means sun, it is 6 years. But in Brihat Parashara, we have explanation of calculation and the way to create different kinds of dashas like Yogini and many other Ashtottari Dasha. Yeah, even Ashtottari is very common. Sometimes people use Ashtottari also. And nowadays in modern astrological softwares also, we have different kinds of dashas.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you can start from Bharani, you can start from Ashwini, you can start like from any nakshatra.
Yeah.
So what I have gone through is Vimshottari Dasha. So Vimshottari Dasha is very important because it says 120 years. A person's lifespan in Kali Yuga is up to 120 years. Some people may cross 120 years, but in modern day, because of eating horrible food and horrible surroundings, nobody can even exist up to 40.
Yeah.
So this kind of problem is happening. Children are getting 10, when they're just 10 years old, they're getting cancer. So all of these things are also happening. So that's because of the food. But when we see differently, Vimshottari Dasha is exactly appropriate for Kali Yuga. It's 120 years. So 120 years is exactly appropriate for a person in Kali Yuga. So seeing that 6 plus 10 plus 7 plus sun, then moon, then we see Mars, Kritika, Rohini, Mrgashira, Ardra, we see 18 years, Rahu. Like that we go on, we get 120 years. Then we do Antardasha, Pratyantardasha, and then also Prana Dasha, it goes too low, like that. Like sometimes it goes even to seconds, minutes, times like that.
Okay, I see. And when somebody comes to you and let's say they want to know their career, what should my career be? How do you look at what career should one follow?
Okay, so what career is 10th house? So we see the 10th house when we are knowing about career. So when we are supposed to see about career, we see the 10th house. So 10th house Lord, and also we see the Dashamamsha. Dashamamsha also, there's a divisional chart called Dashamamsha.
Yeah.
When we see that too, we can know. So that means how will the nature of the profession be? Who will be the boss? Like how much wealth the boss will have also can be seen. Like will he be very wealthy or will he be poor and he's trying to make money from you? Or who is the siblings? Like will the job bring you competition or will it raise you to heights? Says the 3rd house. The 4th house says will this job give you property or will it give you money or will it give you happiness?
Happiness, yeah.
Dashamamsha says will your children be happy when you are in the job? 6th house says this is very important for modern day, like all of this. So 6th house says how much competition will other people be pushing on you for your job? Like are you enough competent to be in the job or are you too lagging behind in the job? So 7th house says like how far would the spouse be happy with you being in the job? 8th house says how long is the job going to be? Like the longevity of the job is seen. 9th house says that is a job going to give you fortunes? Like is it going to give you enough money or is it going to give you power in the organization? The 10th house says of the Dashamamsha, it says that how nice would be your profession, like what would be your profession, and that goes really deep into your profession. So in the Rashi, the 10th house says the nature of the profession. In Dashamamsha, 10th house also says the nature of the profession. You have to mix Rashi and Dashamamsha to know the exact nature of the profession. So for example, if the lord of Rashi 10th house is Saturn and the lord of Dashamamsha if the lord of Dashamamsha 10th house is also Saturn, then the person will surely be into IT or information technology or black market.
Or maybe working with iron, coal,
steel. Iron, steel, yeah, correct. So Shani was considered inauspicious and malefic. So that means ancients also knew that such things were dealing with laptops, computers were also inauspicious, because nowadays we are having lots of problems with technology. The technology is creating a problem, and technology is again creating solutions for that. The solution again create a problem, and again this problems have to be solved with another technology. So like this, technology goes on ruining our lives. So Shani is a Karaka for technology.
Okay. I thought it was Rahu and Mars, Karaka for technology.
Rahu and Mars, yeah, but Shani also, because we generally see Shani as the person who is technological, modern, who does not like shastras. Even Rahu is the same, actually.
Yeah.
Rahu also does not like shastras. So nowadays, technology is always against shastras.
Yeah.
Even Shani is a little against shastras. He does not believe that much in shastras. Shani Graha. If a person is influenced by Shani Graha, he says, "Oh, where is God? There's nothing called God. What is this? There is nothing like that. Lead my life and then keep going on." That's what they keep thinking.
So what if your 10th house was Shani in the birth chart, but Jupiter ruled the Samsha 10th house? Then what makes out?
So if Shani and Jupiter are mixed, that means that a person is still in a bad profession, but he realizes that his profession is bad. Or maybe he quits his profession. Because of his profession, he is able to do really good to people. So that means some people earn a lot of money due to bad means. Then they realize, and then what they do is they pour money for good things. They pour in money to really good things. So that's we see many people like that.
Okay. And what can you tell us about Rahu Ketu? What are Rahu Ketu?
Rahu Ketu is a very, very mysterious science. Rahu and Ketu are very, very important. So what Rahu can say in astrology is foreigners and ancient things, like what happened in your previous birth. So desires, it gives you a flow of desire suddenly, like you won't even know, you will not even be focusing on a particular topic. Like for example, a person is a very poor man. Generally he's born a very, very poor person, and he is working as his father worked, doing menial jobs. Suddenly some small desire arises in him to do something great. So the next day he may find a bag of gold behind his house. He'll pick that up and he'll try to do something with it. Then he'll know it's gold. Slowly, like it suddenly lifts a person. Rahu. If Rahu is positioned in the 6th, 3rd or 11th house, it makes a person like rise from such a low position to such a high position that they can't even realize that they were low before. So, and it also reminds you of your previous birth's wishes. Like in a person's previous birth, for example, let's take an example. A person wanted to build a huge house, but he died before he could do that, and nobody knew that was his desire and didn't complete his desire. So next birth when he comes, he is not remembering that he has that, but someday that spark of the previous birth raises in his mind, and then he says, yes, I have to build a house. In the same way, it's about like, I have to build a temple. Yes, I have to do this. I have to do that. So suddenly it gives such an urge that no planet can even stop that. Not even Jupiter, not even Saturn. Rahu will control the person's life. If Rahu is posited in 6th, 3rd, 11th, or in 4th, 5th, or 12th.
Wow.
So Ketu is a little different. Rahu is materialistic and tries to look as Venus. It tries to look attractive. There's a story of Rahu too. We see that sun and moon.
Wow. Okay. Perfect. Wow. Thank you so much, young man. You have dazzled us. But I want people to know, what is the name of your YouTube channel?
Conscience.
Conscious. Okay. I will put that link in the description.
Thank you.
Most likely I will bring you more and we'll discuss different topics on astrology. So thank you so much for enlightening my channel and everybody else.
It's all like God's
this is how Jyotish is supposed to be. We were supposed to learn Jyotish when we were your age. You are bringing like the Satyug back. Satyug back.
I think it's because of God's grace only.
See,
and I'd like to
this is Satyug.
introduce my sister.
Absolutely. Hello.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri
So
Krishna.
she
How are
actually
you?
has by hearted entire Bhagavad Gita.
Really?
Yeah, entire Bhagavad Gita. So she has chanted all the 18 chapters in a temple in in Karnataka, Mysore recently. So
Wow.
she is also she learns Bharatnatyam and other things like that, and she also makes videos on the modern day crisis on cow protection and many such things. So she also
Wow.
understands Karakatwas and all of that.
Wow. What's her name?
Abhigya.
Abhigya. So you memorized the entire Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, it's all by God's grace.
Wow. I cannot even imagine memorizing 5 pages of that. So are you also learning Jyotisha like your brother?
She is beginning like I
Oh,
taught
you're
her.
gonna teach her, right?
Yeah, I taught her a few karakatwas like sun karakatwa, moon karakatwa.
Wow, this is see, this is how our youth supposed to be. You guys are like, you guys are gonna change. I mean, in 10 years, I'm telling you, you would be maybe above B.V. Raman, maybe above Paramira, everybody. People will be coming to you outside your house, lines.
I think I think he was almost like he had the spirit of God inside him. I don't
No,
think
you guys are gods themselves. You are the actual embodiment of gods in front of us.
My brother, he has started a campaign called Swachha Sharira. In that he speaks about junk food, which is all chocolates, biscuits, all of that is wrong with what he says.
Okay.
And dangerous chemicals.
Wow. This is.
And he's also done a management course and BA in Vastu Shastra he's doing now.
Wow, this is impressive.
I began studying Vastu Shastra also recently, so.
Vastu Shastra and Jyotish are actually.
Yeah, just the 4th house of Rashi chart belongs to Vastu. So if you expand the 4th house into all its different things, then you get Vastu Shastra entirely. So the house is nothing but a Jataka. House is nothing but Jataka. And that's a house of a person resembles the 4th house of the Jataka.
Wow. This is great. I have to bring you more now to talk about these things. So thank you so much, guys, for coming. You guys are beautiful, beautiful people, and keep at it. I think 2 of you are gonna change India at one point.
Thank you.
You're gonna change India. So thank you so much for coming.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Bye bye. Jai Shri Krishna.